Hello, everyone. We are an academic and student group belonging to Rethinking Economics. We are Rethinking Economics Anatolia and the local group of the Rethinking Economics in Turkey. We are so thankful for being in here because, as you know, that in Turkey and all the region of there, we have a natural disaster as the very it's not common to happen in there. So we have lots of we need lots of help because of this. And as a student and economic student group, we would like to explain what happened in Turkey now and try to help all of the people in this region, not only people, but also the animals, and affected all of the things in here. So we will start with the presentation, and I will give the place with Rana. And now we will start.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rana. I'm one of the members of Rethink Anatolia in Turkey. And today, me and Aylur are going to be representing an informative presentation regarding the catastrophic day that happened in 6th of February. So to start with what we will discuss today. First, we will discuss the death rate of the first 5 days, a day-by-day analysis of the earthquake, the response of each of the government, universities, NGOs, and the international aid. So the great disaster, it started on the 6th of February. 2 earthquakes hit the region. The first was on 4 a.m., which resulted in 2 death casualties of 912. The second was on 1 p.m., which resulted in 2,921. Those were only the first day casualties. By 7th February, it reached 5,800. By the 8th, it reached 9,000, and an exponential increase by the 9th reached 17,000. And by the 10th, we reached 19,000 deaths and 80,000 injuries. So we will talk about the events of each day, what happened on each day. So as you see, the video that's going to be shown was actually a live of one of the news on the second earthquake that occurred. So the first earthquake occurred at 4 a.m. and the second was at 1 p.m. So we can go on the second slide. Oh, okay, it's working. Okay, so we will move on. What's the details? So the first earthquake hit 2 cities. The main city was Kahramanmaraş at 7.7 magnitude, and the second is Gaziantep at 6 magnitude. It was at around the depth of 7 kilometers. It was followed by 78 aftershocks, including magnitude of 6.6 and 6.5 that struck the southeastern Gaziantep province. The second earthquake, which happened at 1 p.m., resulted to 105 aftershocks occurred, and 2,824 buildings collapsed because there were already some buildings that were affected by the first earthquake, but the second earthquake made them collapse. So the main cities that were affected by the earthquake was Malatya, Hatay, Urfa, Adıyaman, and Maraş. And they experienced severe damages on each of the infrastructures. The search and the rescue personnel were assigned at 9,600 were directly assigned to the region due to the great disaster. The second day, it was the first day that rescue started to happen immensely, but another disaster occurred. Due to a tremors caused by the earthquake in Iskenderun port, the substance inside the ships were mixed with chemicals, liquids, and caused a fire there. Most people that were affected by the earthquake complained that they were endangered and there was a lack of assistance. People faced with great difficulties in electricity, water, natural gas, and telecommunication. So the infrastructure of the cities in each of the electricity and water side was severely damaged, which has people had in access to such things. Telecommunication service was really hard to reach. So I tried to even reach one of my friends, but I wasn't able to connect to a normal call until the third day. The municipalities of cities such as Ankara, Izmir, Istanbul, of course, and Antalya, they started having deliver aids to the region. So there were calls on the social media accounts of those cities for volunteers to come to the main municipalities to collect the aids, for people to donate the things, and for volunteers to help ship those things to those cities. So the third day, it was the day that a lot of people were rescued under the rubbles. The fire in Iskenderun port was brought under control. Level 3 emergency warning had been issued by the WHO for the earthquake area. During search and rescue, a lot of the main resources like earth-moving vehicles were needed and insufficient. And by that time, a lot of the international rescue teams have reached Turkey in order to help in such a thing. And access to Twitter and TikTok was censored toward the evening hours, and that had a lot of damage. Because people who were under rubble, they used to connect to people through two platforms in order to say their address and where they are. Twitter, a lot of people that were under rubbles were sending tweets, was their address, or families send their tweets where their children or family's address in order to rescue them, and Afad main application that you could send yourself. So censoring Twitter had big effect on such a thing. And at 1 a.m., it was announced that the state of emergency would be implemented for 3 months in the cities affected by the earthquake. And yesterday only, there was a presidential announcement that one of the reasons for this announcement is that because there was an increase in human trafficking in those earthquake areas due to the damage. The fourth day. So this is the day where the start of relocation and the start of people getting tents and living in tents to get relocated to other cities. The huge damage was actually calculated by one of the German researchers that said that the plate in which Turkey is located has moved 3 to 4 meters from its place. So the whole country moved 3 to 4 meters. And we will see in the next video one of the videos that shows how the floor of one of the cities was actually moved in meters. The fifth day, 10th of February. You'll go back a bit, yes. So at the fifth day, the World Bank has allocated a resource allocation of $780 million, and it has been announced that it would be transferred to relevant projects. And as you see in the video, this is the amount of damage that was caused on the floors itself, and the contractor of one of the residents, which was destroyed in Antakya, where was caught at the Istanbul airport. This contractor resulted to 1,000 family losing their life. And also in the morning, another contractor was caught before escaping to another country. Yet there was a positive side where one of the contractors was praised that he was the one responsible for building some buildings between 1997 till 2002. Those buildings were not destroyed at all, and they kept they were able to stay still and save a lot of lives. So there is a bad side and also a bright side for such an incident, unfortunately. So how bad is this? The numbers says it all. 24,617 death situation until now. Just this was 1 hour ago before the presentation. Maybe now it has increased to 25,000. And in order to follow these numbers, we encourage you to follow the AFAD live numbers that's updated every day. Yet this is a catastrophic situation. It escalated from day 1, 900, and now we're talking after 6 days, 24,000 persons lost their life, and 80,000 are injured, and around now 150,000 are being relocated to other cities. It's such a devastating earthquake, I would say. For the next, I would leave it to my friend Eylul to complete regarding the geography of this and what is the reaction of different organizations.
Thank you, Rana. Thank you, all of the people who are in here now. Actually, as Rana mentioned before, we saw lots of numbers, and because of the injured and the explained the dead people, but sometimes numbers are not so effective to explain how the effect of this disaster. So as you see in there, that's the place of the earthquake. It's not included on the Turkey, but also you see that the Syria is affected this disaster. In there, as my friend mentioned before, that's a very big zone, and it's not the common earthquake type in the world. And you see that the kilometers and especially the 13 million people affected because of this disaster. But I want to inform you what's the meaning of this zone. I hope no one live this kind of disaster all around the world. But when we compare with the size of the affection is with the USA, for example, you can see that the effects from New York to Washington, and it's a very huge place, as you can imagine. And also, you can consider that having very little electricity, water in the 21st century, internet, and gas. And these are only material things for the needs, but as you know, in this kind of disaster, lots of people needs not only physical things, but also the mental and mental things. So you can consider that this kind of the material things is not enough in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Washington, and Maryland. Because of that, it was so huge. Also, we can compare with the size of the effects in Europe. You can consider that from the Paris to Amsterdam of the affection, how the big is the earthquake destruction zone. And also, you can think about that all the buildings destroyed in Paris, Brussels, Rotterdam, and Amsterdam. So as you think about that, that's the huge place again, about to mention it. That's another example from Europe, the Southern Europe, and from Milan to Rome. It was a very big place also, and you can consider that having not enough to water food survivors for the survivors, and in Milan, Bologna, Florence, and Rome. So yeah, we showed that the people are dead and also the injured. So these people have also have need this kind of the surviving things with the basic necessities, and also they lost their loved ones, their families, and even I felt this earthquake from my homeland. I felt so depressed, and I'm not alone. All the people in Turkey feel this trauma like theirs. So you can imagine what's the feeling of the disaster. So there's the last example from the UK. From Brighton to the Newcastle, you can imagine that. And as you know, in Italy and United Kingdom, the railway stations is so common, but you can consider about having roads, airports, train rails to London, to Cambridge, Birmingham, and Manchester are destroyed, and you cannot transport another city. I don't say the country, another country for another another place. You cannot transport yourself. You cannot go to another city or another road. For example, in Hatay, you cannot go out another road. For example, at the same time, I want to give a little bit information about that. For example, from Maraş airport to the center of the Maraş, it got only 2 hours at mostly, and now you cannot reach out the center of the Maraş at 5 hours. You cannot go there. And also, you can imagine that, I hope so, no one lived this kind of disaster. But when you think about that, your loved ones, your family, if they are in there, and you try to reach out the city and you couldn't. And it's not only about destroying roads problem or the buildings. Also, in that place, we have lots of security problems. So because of that, actually, these kind of the material problems, physical problems, affect of the mentally things. That it affects over day. And one of the professors from University of Tokyo, Masataka Kinoshita, said that earthquake is a reality of the world. Some kind of the countries affect mostly, but all around the world, earthquake and this kind of natural disaster is a reality. So, and one of the country is most affected by the earthquake is Japan. So this professor said that the main difference between Japan and Turkey, where less loss of life was recorded despite being an earthquake country, is the durability of the buildings. In Turkish, we have a very common usage sentences to describe the similar things. Especially lots of professors and engineers use it. Earthquake doesn't kill anyone. Wrong buildings kill everyone. So actually, in the meaning of these sentences, as Professor Kinoshita said that, try to describe the same thing. earthquake is a reality, such as the lots of the natural disaster, but we should try to get the strong buildings, get the spread the education about this kind of things. So, firstly, before the continue, on the behalf of all of my teammates and all of the people who live in Turkey, we are so appreciated to everyone's support all around the world. So we will discuss some slides in there, but we remind that everyone reminds us, especially we are the all parts of this goodness. So out of the ethnicities, out of the religious types, out of every differences, we live in the same world, and I would like to thank you to all of the supporters from all around the world. Now I will continue with the government response. Unfortunately, in Turkey we have very, how can I say that, very common problem. It's about planning. Lack of the planning is a very common problem in our country. So, and with this disaster, we saw again what's the importance of the making plan and being prepared. So, in government response, President Erdogan became inaccessible after he made a Twitter statement that confirms the earthquake in the first hit. The press briefing was issued only 20 hours later, and this time is so huge to save the people from this place. So, as Rana said before, Twitter has so common usage in Turkey, and the social media account is so popular in Turkey, and all of the people who damaged from the disaster try to connect the people for saving their loved lives. So with the shutting down of the Twitter, lots of people couldn't reach save their loved ones, and unfortunately, lots of people didn't die because of the earthquake. They died because of the lack of the reaching out for the helps. And also the president who went to earthquake areas on the fourth day, very huge amount of the time, and it's lost, announced that 10,000 Turkish lira would be given to the families damaged by the earthquake. And it means that if someone from Europe will watch us, it means that if you try to run out from the natural huge disaster, and the government give you only 500 euros to surviving with the life's conditions, and also almost $500 when you try to regain your life. That's the government's helping. So, as writing, in this period of the economic crisis, when the purchasing power of the Turkish lira weakened, it was noteworthy that such low aid was given to the families who lost their homes and suffered from the serious material damage. So also from yesterday, the government said that we will open the dormitories from the KYK. It means that Credit Dormitories Institute. This institute tried to control the dormitories and the funds for the students in Turkey. We've opened for the temporary accommodation for earthquake victims, and education will continue online until summer. Lots of academics, students, and lots of people all around Turkey try to discuss how the wrong decision in these days. In these days, lots of people try to reach out their loved ones who affected by the earthquake, and also try to how can I say that, stand with this kind of the wrong decision. So I will give you the comment because of this decision. So as you see, that's the video from the Boğaziçi. That's another university who tried to help the people who affected by the earthquake. Thankfully, we have universities, and the universities not give the lesson on the classroom, but also give the lessons how the solidarity should be in these times. From the first day, many universities have started an intensive aid campaign by publishing a list of needs, publishing condolence messages, and have entered an active organization process by their students and staff. You saw lots of universities, and there are much more than these lists. And also, for example, I want to give an example. I learned today, Kadir Has University called all of the students who affected by the earthquake to help every kind of help to them, from mentally, physically, or whatever they want. So, as I said before, universities are so important institutions for all the countries, and from this disaster, all the people see that universities don't give only the lectures or some theories about the occupations. That's only and that's not only the role of the universities. Also, we saw that the lecture of the solidarity. Thankfully, we have non-governmental organizations also. I'm sure that you see the Ahbap's IBAN's numbers and the name of the Ahbap also. Lots of people shared their links because of that. And from the first day of the earthquake, all of the people observed that the NGOs have started working in a coordinated way rather than the government institutes. And Haluk Levent, everyone knows in Turkey him because he is a very good Turkish singer also. Started collecting aid donations and supplying food and clothing to the earthquake zones from the first day with the Ahbap organization that he founded. Ahbap was founded, as I remember that, 10 years ago. And from the first day, until today, and I hope in the future. Very good developing type aid campaigns is collected in this organization, and as you see, I think lots of people rely on them because it's very it has so good and strong connections from all the cities in Turkey, and lots of this. And also out of the AHBAP, for example, we saw the ihtiyaç haritası. It means that needs map. They found it. They found it in the same time with AHBAP, and there is also another good non-governmental organization. Also, similar donation coordination and assistance on a large scale came from Babala TV. Babala TV is a YouTube channel, and owner Oğuzhan Uğur is a very famous YouTuber in Turkey. So AHBAP, Babala TV, Needs Map, and lots Akut also try to being in coordinate for helping lots of people as much as they can do. And as I said first, international aids, we are so thankful for you because not only about physically, but we try to support and we try to being as strong for not for us, also for the people who damaged because of this natural disaster. And 71 countries sent help to Turkey in this time, in travel from all around the world, from Greece, Israel, Armenia, United States, Pakistan, Hindustan, India. I'm sorry, because of Hindustan mean in Turkish to describe the India. So the aids are in form of donations, supply aids, Navy ships, search and rescue specialists, health officers, and mechanical tech assistants. We try to write all of the countries in there, but we are so thankful for that. So why we are in here? As we said before, it's not only a informational meeting, it's also the donation type of the live stream. So from you or your someone who can help the people who damaged because of this earthquake, we tried to join the Turkish Philanthropy Fund, and it's a very reliable and valid non-profit organization. And we try to join them, and also try to getting more donations to spread the needs, not only physically but also the mentally. But don't worry about that. You can be sure, and also you can review from the links as we will share with you. Your contributions will go directly to the Turkish Philanthropy Fund, as a supervised non-profit organization at Disaster Floor Platform. It means that in Turkish, maybe you can see the Turkish name, Afet Platformu, located in Kahramanmaraş and neighboring towns to help the victims recover from the devastating effects of the earthquake and rebuild their efforts, rebuild the cities again, because in that place, our stays are not in here, and now we try to collect the needs for the people, for the all the things in there. So that's the links for the donations. And also, if you cannot take the links, you can scan this code, and directly you can go out of the donation links. And also, we have links and any kind of the description in the description box below. And also, our friends shared the message on the chat. You can click on that, and we can share our solidarity. Thank you so much. So we are open all the questions you want to try to learn more. We can reply you. So actually we have one question. Is Twitter still banned from Economics YouTube channel? Yes. Actually, lots of time. It can change time to time. In the first day, was blocked. The Twitter was blocked for 9.5 hours, as our friends informed you. And sometimes we couldn't reach, and sometimes we can reach without VPNs. So
I would add something extra here also.
No.
That is my voice clear, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that even if it's still not banned now, some pages are banned and it's under control actually. Some pages you cannot access still.
We are open all the questions. You can ask us what do you want to learn. Also, as we said before, lots of the non-governmental organizations try to reach out the cities, and also we try to help the people as much as we can. How is the situation in Syria? Thank you, our blood friends from India. Especially as according to the last statistics, 6 million, I can be wrong, but almost 6,000 people have died. And our government tried to negotiate with how to deal with this problem. And for example, according to our reads from Twitter, I think that we have some. We will try to some kind of the negotiations to some people to enter the Turkey from Syria, and but I am not really sure that. So because lots of the decisions, lots of the things have changed day by day. For example, as we mentioned before about the dormitory situation, until the disaster, lots of institutions in governmental institutions changed about the students' situation about in Turkey in 4 times. And because of that, I couldn't say so direct things, but as I said before, the governments in Syria and Turkey tried to negotiate to deal with the people who damaged from the earthquake.
If I could add something here also.
Sure.
First thing, one of the problems in the situation in Syria that there was a political game done by the government to stop anything that from entering. So they suffered very much from having materials until recently they were able to have this negotiation done. And this is not 100% official, but this is according to the experience of organizations here that I'm also in contact with that relocate people. They have mentioned that any Syrian person that enters Turkey and have the exception of having 3 months accommodation here. So normally it wouldn't happen from the new rules, but now because of this situation, it's done that they give them the residence for 3 months until everything starts slowly to get resolved.
And also this kind of the decisions affects the people very in the wrong way, because, for example, in 14th of the May, we have an election to change the president and change the some general decisions, and it affects all of the people who will be voted for the political parties. So one of the question is, how long do you think it will take to bring back life to normally? Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you. Actually, but the answer is not so easy because lots of people are not okay, even though they are out of the place who affected by the earthquake. And but for the firstly if you say about the places who affected by the earthquake, it can be years. It can take the years. But making buildings, it's not a solution to deal with this problem, because lots of people transport to other cities. For example, I am in Mersin, and Mersin was very affected from the earthquake, and lots of people in there and try to regain their lives, and also lots of the capitals should be transferred to the municipalities of these cities, but it's not so easy way. It's not so easy to rebuild the cities, regain the lives of the people who affected from that. And also we should I think that change the firstly some kind of the rules about that. So in shortly, according to lots of the professors from lots of disciplines, from sociology to engineering, from geology to economics, everyone has the common idea for this question. It will take maybe 1 or 2 years. And yeah, I think we have one question from economics. What is good and bad decisions that were taken? Rana, do you want to start this question, because I talk lots of things? Maybe I can continue after you.
Well, it's a very good and hard question. It just reminds me of everything that happened, but I would say good decisions was the quick response from universities and NGOs, the amount of donations and amount of things that were collected there quickly. Like, for example, Istanbul Technic University was able, according to one of the people organizations there, to collect in the first 5 days 350,000 Turkish TL. So this is one of the good decisions that people collected each other quickly. The second day of the earthquake, when I went down to donate blood, the line was so long that after standing for 1 hour, I was not even close to the place. So the response, the organization, even though there were some problems with some organizations of these donations, the quick organization to send these things from universities was a good decision. Bad decisions, also another bad decisions, too many to think of. It was a very huge thing, very, very huge, beyond the control of a lot of people. So in order to be able to have there was not a policy of how to deal with earthquake. People were not ready to know what to do. So, for example, Japan, one of the articles that was there, how Japanese rescue teams were able to rescue people under rubbles in 3 times faster. So they were very ready, and there was ready policies how to get people out. But here, the bad decisions was that there was no policy. So it was the policies before the earthquake. The teams were not ready how to rescue. The infrastructures of quick infrastructures to do like quick tents that are ready, they were not that ready. So I think one lesson that was really taught is to have a policy, to have a book to open when this happened, what we must do.
And thank you, Rana. Yeah, as my friend mentioned, that's very good question. That's very best question, but the reply is not so simple, because I would like to continue with Rana's response. Yeah, and the worst decision for me, blocked Twitter, because I don't know, maybe you saw or not, lots of people share their addresses to reach out their loved ones. And also Twitter is the most used social media account, and all of the people use it. Almost all of the people use the Twitter in Turkey. And even though that, lots of people try to reach out with their loved ones or try to help, and you shutting down the Twitter, and for example, we couldn't reach out the news, and also I'm still using VPN, for example, because I couldn't rely on the maybe they can shut down again, and it was the very best decisions from the I think government, but the good decision from government, it can be given a how can I say that? Given a news to the world with a we have very we need help with the I think that from the World Health Organization they give a message. We have an earthquake and we need help quickly from all around the world. And but that's the only thing, because for example, if you block the social media and it's very used, it has lots of usages from our country, and how can I say that they try to give in another rotation to get the information and help. But 20 hours and also 9.5 hours is a huge time and very lost time for helping. And it's very critical because we try to explain that lots of people try to carry the walls with 40, 50 hours. And because of that, we don't want to need the miracles. Because our problems is so simple, and lots of people so angry because of that, because the solutions are so simple, but our government try to catch the difficult solutions to deal with the problems. So because of that, we try to deal with the worst decisions. As Rana said, non-governmental organizations are so quick, and they are still in the place of the affected by the earthquake and try to help them. And they're still sent addresses and something like that. So and as a population, we remind that we could do lots of things with ourselves, but with a good decisions, with a good part of the governmental type, we could more than the problems. For example, I'm so sorry, I told more, but I want to give a very crucial information. As we said before, Hatay is the most city is because of the effect of the earthquake. Is the most affected city because of the earthquake, and one of the province in Hatay have no any kind of injured or dead people or the wrong buildings. Only Erzin, the province name is Erzin, and the mayor of the municipality of the Erzin gave an interview to the media, and he said that I didn't give a permission for the making lack of planning or for the wrong buildings. Everyone shouted me and and say something someone don't want to hear. But now my province is still strong, and life is continuing there. So I think that it's a very good lesson how to be governmental planning should be. And also I want to give a little bit more information about the good, I think the best decision. As Rana said before, Istanbul Technical University students and Middle East Technical University students try to collect the information with the links, try to build the websites to the people who want to reach out their loved ones and give a news, give a news to the try to connect with them. So I think that it was the best decisions from the universities.
I would add the last thing, not related to this question, but as a last thing, just the last update that we had, today's presentation, we were mentioning we're having around 24,000 deaths. That was 1 hour before the presentation. Now with the current update, it's reached 29,000. So just the hour of the presentation and 1 hour before the presentation, we're talking around 6,000 addition. So unfortunately, the situation is increasing and increasing, and it's devastating. So all hopes currently is to first try to reach as quick as possible, with hope that there is still people there, and at the same time help those families that already survived, help the kids that lost their families, help the mother that lost her children. So a psychological and financial needs for them, it's very, very in need currently.
Thank you, Rana. And I want to add one more bad decision. And lots of universities get the online education. It was one of the bad decisions to take, because lots of students in universities in now have a COVID traumas, and they didn't enter the campuses and the university places. So when they try to deal with these problems and taking souls to reach out their psychological balance, now we have any kind of decision to getting online education. As I mentioned before, that lots of academic students are still against because of this decision, and not for only the students about having COVID traumas. Also, in that place, because we try to explain that 10 or 12 cities affected by this earthquake, and lots of students lost their families, their loved ones, their material things. They try to thank to being in physically okay, but they are not okay about the mentally, psychological, or any kind of that. They try to be in life. So in that, now they give a mention about the university education should be online in until the summer. It's the worst, maybe the worst decision about that. because we need to regain their lives before the online education system. Yeah. Any questions you can ask, and we can reply as much as we can. And also, as Rana said, lots of people needs lots of helps about the collective needs, and so try to regain their lives. So if you can share the links, what we write about the donation, and as you see the QR code for the donations, we are appreciated to you, and we will be happy in the difficult times. So thank you for being in here. It's so valuable than you think, because we mentioned lots of times in this presentation, we need physical things, but about the psychological part is the one of the more important part of the this process, for dealing with this process. Thank you so much, Kai and Ki and Raj Economics Club. Thanks so much. If you can share, and we will be so happy. I know that our for your support, we saw your efforts, and we will not forget the support. And also, we will finish now, but if you have any questions or messages, you can write on comment. You can share this video to spread the news about Turkey who don't know any kind of the information about this natural disaster. We will be happy. We are so open to your comments, your messages, your questions also, and lots of things. Thank you to remind all of the people the being one is much stronger than the differences, to try to inform the differences. Although all the differences, all the different things, we are humans, we have souls, and we can feel the pains the other countries and other places, even though we are so far away. Thanks so much.